You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. Identity is the foundation of who you are, and it is shaped by what you repeatedly do, think, say, and believe. For example, you cannot call yourself a reader just because you believe you're one, yet you've barely read a book in a very long time. But you can confidently call yourself a reader if you've been reading consistently. What you say, do, think, and believe need to be in alignment with who you claim to be. Otherwise, there will be a disconnect, and that disconnect often leads to frustration and confusion. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Winnie Marita, and if you're returning, welcome back to Your Mind is the Limit community. This is a space where we help you break limiting beliefs, build a strong mindset, understand yourself on a deeper level, and become the best version of yourself from the inside out. Without further ado, let's get started. I like to think of identity as a coin with two sides. The first side is who you are at the core. This is the awareness of your character, values, and standards. It also includes things like gender, age, weight, height, what you like, what you don't like, your temperament, your strengths and weaknesses. And talking about weaknesses, it is interesting to see how people have normalized identifying themselves with their weaknesses. I'm sure in your circle of friends or family, you've heard people say things like, I am an overthinker, or I am an oversharer, or I am lazy, I am inconsistent, and so on and so forth. This is a subtle trap because it sounds harmless and more like self-awareness, but it is actually a self-limiting identity. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should deny your weaknesses, because it could be true that you're struggling with inconsistency, laziness, or something else. In fact, awareness is good because knowing your weaknesses is how you grow. But the problem comes in when you turn that awareness into identity. The moment you label yourself based on your weaknesses, you start reinforcing them. And without realizing it, you box yourself in. There is no way you can call yourself something and consistently act contrary to it. For example, someone who says they are shy, even if they are in a room full of opportunities, they will hesitate to speak and stay in the background, not because they have nothing to say, but because the label they've given themselves is limiting them to speak up. Your actions are a reflection of what you believe about yourself. The other side of the coin, which in my opinion is the most important, is understanding who is your maker. The higher power you believe is behind your existence and everything around you. Because the way you see yourself is directly connected to what you believe about where you came from. When you focus on knowing who you are without knowing who created you, you barely scratch the surface of who you are and your true potential. Keyword here is true potential. But when you truly understand your maker, you begin to realize that your identity is not based on what you do for a living, how much you earn, or your physical appearances. Because when you base your identity on such fragile things, you put yourself at risk of being influenced by anything and everything. That is why trends easily pull people in different directions, whether it's lifestyle choices, beauty standards. For example, you see the rise of cosmetic procedures like BBLs and other trends. As standards keep shifting, people feel pressure to keep up because their sense of identity is tied to what is currently valued. This is not about judging anyone's choice. It's about recognizing the danger of not being grounded in who you are. New things will always come up, but if you're not rooted in something deeper, it will be easy for you to be carried along with whatever is trending. For me, I used to define myself by success and achievements, and whenever I failed, that would completely shake me. I would feel unworthy, I would overthink everything, replay situations in my mind, and even wonder what people thought about me. I carried a lot of guilt, shame, and pressure. But something shifted when I started working on my identity and understanding what it truly meant to be a child of God. I am no longer defined by my failures, circumstances, or even achievements. I don't walk around carrying shame, guilt, and condemnation anymore, because my worth is not based on what I do, but who I am in God as His child. And this is not just an idea for me, it is a personal conviction and belief. And I genuinely encourage you to explore this for yourself. And if there's one thing I hope you take from this video, is don't build your identity on things that can change. Build your identity on something deeper, something stable, something unshakable, because life has challenges. And if your identity is not rooted in the right place, those challenges will carry you along. So take your time with this, reflect on it, question the labels you've accepted about yourself, and most importantly, understand yourself from a deeper place. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If this video added value to you, subscribe and become a part of this amazing community of Your Mind is the Limit. See you in the next episode. Thank you.